your mind wide open. All the possibilities. You've got to live with your eyes open. Believe in what you see. Tomorrow's horizons full of surprises. Don't let them take your dreams away. You've got to keep your mind wide open. All the possibilities. You've got to live with your eyes open. Believe in what you see. You've got to keep your mind wide open. All the possibilities. You've got to live with your eyes open. Believe in what you see. Your mind wide open. Believe in what you see. Your eyes open. Believe in what you see. Have you ever seen the sky so beautiful, colorful, wide and wonderful? Have you ever felt the sunshine so brilliantly raining down over you and me? Have you ever wanted more? Wanted more? You've got to keep your mind wide open. All the possibilities. You've got to live with your eyes open. Believe in what you see.
Region of Atlanta. Happy Pride, everybody. So exciting. If you don't go to Piedmont Park during Pride weekend, I know it's raining.
All the days you've wasted.
I said the first service, it's like Dragon Con with more rainbows. Everyone's just happy and being nice to each other and dressed in whatever they want to be dressed in. It's just the best. So I recommend it wholeheartedly. For our Pride service, we're talking about Dolly Parton today. Get ready. It's really exciting. So our first hymn starts with Gathered Here and then gets weird. Please rise in body or in spirit. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit is all you need. All you need is love. La, da, 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 da. All you need is love. La, da, 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 da. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. And I will always love you. Will always love you. And I will always love you. I will always love you. Very good. You.
We are so glad you're with us this morning. It is the best place to be in Atlanta, Georgia, especially on Pride Sunday.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta, a beloved community that is changing lives. I'm Bill Kramer, and I'm so glad you're here with us today. Wherever you are from, whomever you love, you are welcome here. If this is your first time, or if you've not yet had a chance, please stop by our Welcome Center in the social hall after this service to allow us to get to know you a little better. You can sign up to receive information about services and programs being presented over the next several weeks. In order that we might all attend the Atlanta Pride Festival, there will be no adult religious education this Sunday. Adult RE will resume next Sunday with our weekly Inquirers series and with part 2 of Dr. Jason Delaney's Worthy Beyond Worth. For more information on how you might join your fellow congregants in participating in today's Pride Parade, please consult the insert in your order of service. We truly hope to see all of you there. And now, please take a moment to put your cell phone in its most reverent position. Thank you. And once again, we are glad you're here with us this beautiful day.
Dolly Parton, the mystic. Dolly Rebecca Parton was born on the banks of the Little Pigeon River in a very small community in Sevier County in East Tennessee in the middle of the Smoky Mountains. Her father was a sharecropper in those mountains and eventually became a farmer of a small plot of land, while her mother raised Dolly and her 11 siblings. I don't know if you know this, but Dolly Parton prays every day, connecting with God in a personal way. And I didn't even know that was going to rhyme. But I guess we're just singing and speaking lyrics. She speaks of her faith as a universalizing force that calls on humanity to cross over divisions of all kinds and find a way towards the unity that God desires for us. I'll quote her song. And the multicolored rainbow stretches out across the sky, and the purple haze at sunset just before the night. And the more I look around me, and the more that I do look, the more I realize I am viewing God's coloring book. Then I turn my face towards the sky and say a silent prayer. Though God doesn't speak to me, I see God everywhere. God is all around me, everywhere I look, and each new day is but a new page in God's coloring book. Welcome to Pride Sunday, and all the colors we'll see here.
Now we light our chalice as a symbol of our faith. May its flame shine brighter than Jolene's auburn hair and be a beacon for all those who seek the warmth of community, the security of togetherness, and the peace of belonging. We also light a candle to honor our LGBTQ ancestors, Barbara Giddings, Harvey Milk, Matthew Shepard, Audre Lorde, Bayard Reston, Christine Jorgensen, and all those known and unknown who have paved the path for us today. May your life and legacy always be remembered. Now let's say the chalice words together, found on the order of service or on the screen. May the light of this flame illuminate our tradition of seeking, invite all who yearn for acceptance, and ignite our passion for justice and peace.
Now, some of you out there have butterflies. So if you have a butterfly, let me see that butterfly. Now, I know at UUCA we like to applaud when we find something good, and you're welcome to do that, but you could also do this as an expression of your appreciation and joy. This is a spirit animal of Dolly Parton, and we will explore this, the butterfly, and the metaphor therein throughout the service. But you will all have a butterfly today, or many of you. And now I would love to invite, and also if you are a child and you're out there in the back, you can come take this moment to come on towards the front, because this worship is for you too, and I want to make sure that you are in a place where you can see. So as we greet each other and welcome each other into this space, you can also resituate yourself and sit where you can really see and be involved, especially the kids out there and youth. So now, once you take a minute to turn to your neighbor, welcome them into this holy space with a handshake or a hug.
Hi. Come on. Making fun of Mary. Good luck. I apparently get to sing as well.
But you guys can go up front so you can
And we are the first members of Children's Choir.
you guys stand up to your back wall.
Okay.
Good morning. You're a genie.
Fine. I'm not participating. I'm just watching.
Yes, we should. soul in every stitch, and I told them all the story. Mama told me while she sewed, and how my coat of many colors was worth more than all their clothes. But they didn't understand it, and I tried to make them see that one is only poor only if they choose to be. Now I know we had no money, but I was rich as I could be. In my coat of many colors, my mama made for me, made just for me.
So my neighbor is a Lutheran minister, and occasionally on a Sunday morning, I'll see him dressed up in his clerical collar with a Bible or a hymnal in his hand, leaving to preach the gospel. I wave and nod, and I wonder, what would he think if he came to this congregation, especially today? Unitarian Universalism is a faith that draws from many sources: the sacred texts of great religion, poets, philosophers, activists, web bloggers. So, Dolly Parton. Finding insight and inspiration in unconventional places is what we do well as UUs. And today, and work of one of the greatest and most respected musicians in history. A life not only filled with great music, but one lived with great authenticity. Dolly Parton was born in Sevier County in eastern Tennessee, the fourth of 12 children, into a two-room house with no running water. She was poor, she wore rags, and as we just saw and heard, her life is literally a country song. Despite real obstacles that would have discouraged and defeated others, she would succeed as a songwriter, a singer, actress, businesswoman, and philanthropist. But she never forgets where she came from, and is never ashamed to be a backwoods Barbie. Dolly has often said she never left the Smoky Mountains. She took the Smokies with her wherever she traveled around the world. Home is always with her. I think this is a beautiful insight. Dolly left for Nashville to pursue her dreams the day after her high school graduation. She couldn't wait to follow her calling. As a young person, I couldn't wait to leave my small town either. My Catholic school, the socially conservative town, the lack of diversity, knowing I could never come out of the closet and feel safe. But when I got to Los Angeles to attend college, I was unmoored. Sure, freshman year is a time of rapid change, for experimentation and for new experiences. But my roots were showing, my small town Minnesota Midwestern roots. I would get teased by my friends because I still made my bed every day. Now I tried leaving it unmade, but when people came over to my dorm and sat down on it, I wanted to jump up and push them off. Some of you may know I'm a gay Virgo, and if the blanket's not up, you don't sit on the bed. Now, I went to a very laid-back Southern California college where taking showers and washing clothes was even less common than most colleges. But I'm a nice guy and would never be a rude host. I was finding that you could take the boy out of Minnesota, but you could not take the Minnesota out of the boy. What appeared to be as overly rigid or uptight to my friends was just who I am, and I had to learn to be comfortable with and embrace my style and values, even as I embraced and welcomed different ideas and experiences into my life. But home is where I learned about love, about a type of family, about the values that were important. Now, some lessons of home were positive, some were not, but it was where I also learned what I needed to live authentically, even if it took time and distance before that could happen, before I could become a butterfly. Home shapes my true self in a way I can't simply erase by moving to a new town. So with her wigs and makeup and high heels, Dolly Parton might seem very inauthentic, and in ways she understands this image is counter to the sweet country girl. But she is authentic and glamorous, glamorously authentic. We are shaped by home even when we've redecorated. Today's service is part of the Mystic Activism series, where we explore the theology and lives of prophets whose mysticism, their sense that the divine moves through all things, and calls them to confront injustice with compassion and love. Dolly Parton fits this description. In her autobiography, she describes time spent as a child in an abandoned chapel in the woods near her house, and the conversations with God that became the basis for her faith. And she has lived a life of service through music, using her means and access to improve the lives of others. Her Dollywood theme park is the largest employer in Sevier County and critical to the economic success of the entire region. She could have invested in any business, but she was rooted to home and the people there. Dolly Parton has given away over 1 million books to young children to improve literacy and stimulate imagination. During the wildfires that ravaged eastern Tennessee a few years ago, Dolly gave away hundreds of thousands of dollars to families in need. Dolly Parton's music and philanthropy are inspiring, but I think about the challenges she faced to reach her dream, the poverty of her childhood, the sexism of the country music and entertainment industries, and the elitism of non-Southerners. She could have easily failed and lived in anonymity, but she didn't. Now, I don't want to romanticize her life. Growing up 14 people in a shack with no running water can't be easy. While that experience might have been hard, it wasn't wrong. This was her life, and being poor, being a woman, and being from the South are all part of her authenticity. For Dolly Parton, home was where she felt love, where she felt provided for, where her dreams and ambition were nurtured and accepted. It's where she cultivated a relationship with the divine and developed a faith that celebrated her success and supported her in her weakest times. I invite you to consider the ways you have redecorated your spirit's home, how you bring your sense of home and your origin story with you, whoever you have become. Dolly Parton wears her challenges like rhinestones, proud of all she pushed through to achieve her calling and be her true self. May we, too, love our whole selves with the same conviction.
How could anyone ever tell you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you were anything less
us put hands upon hearts, feel the warm connection. Let love in this moment flow. Say to yourself silently, I will love myself. I will love others. And that love will heal the world. As we celebrate lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer pride in Atlanta this weekend, we are reminded that until we are all free, none of us are free. The United States Supreme Court heard testimony this week on cases involving the rights of LGBTQ employees and whether the law protects them from being fired simply for being gay. One case involves an Atlanta man who was fired from his job after joining an LGBTQ softball league. And across the world, the government of Uganda is reintroducing legislation that would impose the death penalty on LGBTQ people. Known colloquially as the Kill the Gays law, it has also received support from American conservative Christian activists. And we know more than 19 transgender women of color have been murdered this year that we are aware of. Transgender women of color are exposed to some of the highest levels of violence in our nation. We honor all those who have faced violence and harm because of being lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or queer. You are not forgotten. You are loved. And we honor all those who must fight to live the lives many take for granted. May the world continue to grow into a place of acceptance and love. At this time, we share the joys and sorrows of this congregation. We send our love to lifelong UUCA member Dana Taylor, who married her longtime sweetheart Derek Bumbach on Saturday, October 5th in Decatur. Dana grew up at UUCA and raised her 2 adult children, Dante and Sophia, in our congregation. Please congratulate Dana the next time you see her. At this time, I invite you to say out loud the names of people you are holding in your heart this morning. Bring them into this sacred space now. As humans have gathered for millennia, so we gather on this day to gently surrender to something beyond ourselves, to humbly acknowledge our mistakes, to ask forgiveness, to seek hope and renewal, to honor the earth that supports and sustains life, to remember that all beings are inextricably and mysteriously connected, and to feel that connection. Now we still our bodies, and we still our minds. We take in a big breath. We exhale. We relax into this space that our intentions make sacred. We enter into the wise silence.
happened last service too. I was too busy crying. My name is Dandy Prinsloo, they, them pronouns, and I'm here to give my stewardship testimonial to you all this lovely Sunday afternoon. Sorry. Hello, beloved community. Something we all search for. Something, whether we know it or not, and whether we like to admit it or not, is a necessary part of being a human being. I was lucky enough to find this very significant part of my beloved community behind a McDonald's on North Druid Hill. I came to UUCA by way of my childhood best friend, Frances Meyer. That first Sunday I arrived, I cried tears held back by years of stubborn resistance to vulnerability and unfound shame. And after that first Sunday, I knew where I wanted to be every Sunday after that. Sorry. I knew I had found a precious component of my beloved community. Thank you. Oh my gosh. You think after reading this once I'd get over it. I knew I had found a precious component of my beloved community. I knew I wanted to commit to the people here as much as I desired to have them commit to me. And I have never felt so much reciprocation and acceptance, love, and appreciation as I do here every Sunday. I have also found a lot of joy here at UUCA. Much of that joy comes from the incredible opportunities for bond building and fellowship through food, art, music, dance, skill sharing, and more. I have found a renewed joy in teaching and learning from children and with other adults. I have learned so much about myself and others. This is due to how much we give of ourselves to maintain this wonderful, intentional community. And stewardship pledges are an incredibly vital component of that continued commitment to our beloved community. Together, we can continue the work of our congregation, and who knows, we might just end up saving another 20-something-year-old like me again. So please make your 2020 pledge online at our brand new UUCA website at www.uuca.org. Or drop your pledge card in the box with Kay and Letta at the stewardship table in the social hall after worship service. Now it is time for our offering, where we will make our contributions to the 2019 program year. Please give generously for the work of this congregation. Today's offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Singing the solo on this next song is Miss Chelsea Green. Chelsea is our brand new children and youth music director. So excited. The plan was to have Chelsea lead a children's choir, and then after a meeting this week, now she's leading 4 children's choirs. Yay! So in the RE family email, there is a sign-up form. Hope all of you will fill it out and find great times to come and make great music here at UUCA. This is a fabulous song by Dolly Parton called Light of a Clear Blue Morning.
gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light. I can see the light. Blue, blue morning.
Dandy is a blessing to us. Chelsea, Don, this choir is a blessing to us. And you are a blessing to Dandy, too. You're a blessing to each other. See, we may not be in the business of saving souls here, but we are very truly in the business of saving lives. Here at UUCA, you never know who's going to need a bright blue morning after the darkness of struggle, who's coming in with the pain of not being accepted, who's just looking for a place where they can be seen and known no matter who they love, no matter their expression of gender. And that is really special. That doesn't happen just anywhere. Not in Atlanta, not in the world. So we are a part of something that is beautiful, that is making the world more beautiful, more just, more loving every day. So thank you for your blessing, for your generosity. May this gift go far and wide to make a world more loving, more just, more authentically fabulous. Blessings on this gift.
Let's dedicate this offering together. The words are on your screen or in the order of service. To the word
Work of this congregation, which is weaving the tapestry of love, action, we call community.
dedicate our lives, and these are our offerings.
You got your butterflies ready? Has anyone ever told you to tone it down? Now I'm asking the kids out there, or youth, maybe. Has anyone ever told you to tone it down? Yeah, perhaps recently. What about for the adults? When you were a child and you tried something new? Maybe as a little boy, you longed to try your mother's lipstick, to feel that shine on your lips, that bright red blooming smile. Maybe as a little girl, you wanted to rip off your shirt and run against the wind, raging fiercely like a bull, gripping a football, leaving all the other kids behind in the dust. Who were you in your hometown, in your family? Did you earn a reputation? Did you spend your young life ducking and covering, trying to blend in with the family or with the other kids or with the wallpaper? Maybe just disappear entirely? Were you allowed to be out and proud, taking whatever form you wished? You see, pride is for all of us now. As a celebration of flamboyance, of coats of many colors, be they rainbows or rhinestones or patches. It's an authentic expression of the self, of love across genders, across sexes, across boundaries. And it's that time of year in Atlanta when we come out as our truest selves after hiding, wrestling, testing, trying on different selves. We come out proud. And as the butterfly transforms across a season, so we too transform over our life's seasons, hopefully becoming even more ourselves as we grow and change. Now we know Dolly Parton was born into poverty in Sevier County, Tennessee. I went to high school in Knoxville, Tennessee, and where Dolly looms large. And one of my parents' friends went to elementary school with Dolly in high school and knew her to have a reputation of being loose with the boys. This was the reputation she had. She came from a large, impoverished Appalachian family. And in the middle of that milieu, when puberty hit, her body caught people's attention. And so her community assigned its patriarchal projections onto her as a young girl. What a small, small world she inhabited. Yet, she had dreams of a big world, a bigger world as a country music star. And over the course of her life, rather than hide her body, she enhanced it. She did. Her body continued to be a part of her narrative. She famously underwent plastic surgery, enhancing what God had already given her, and becoming in the process even more herself. Does this enhancement, this transformation remind you of anything else? Of anyone else? People who live their lives on the edges of gender, on the edge of society's comprehension, daring to alter their bodies and risk becoming something more radical, beyond the comfort of people who ascribe to patriarchal notions of gender, either or, male, female. When someone in our community, in our lives, or even in our culture transforms into a beautiful, powerful, passionately authentic version of themselves, well, that offers grace to each of us. This gives us the power of that authenticity, changes all of us. It gives us the permission and the power to become who we were always meant to be. When people transition into themselves more fully, that is terrifying to the white supremacist capitalist patriarchy that earns its money off of our insecurity. Are you with me? So be yourself, and so what if that changes over time? This is why I believe Dolly has chosen a butterfly to be the animal of her spirit, because you are always every version of yourself you have ever been. And where did you come from? It's still with you, somewhere in there. You can't escape it. But maybe you can reconcile. You can learn to love it, to embrace it. The way Dolly has embraced Eastern Tennessee and all of its dark hollers of hate. Its cold mountains of xenophobic fear. Yes, they're still there. It's salt of the earth pride in making a life in coal country, hard scrabble mountain towns with 2 stoplights and not much more than a Dollar General. So if she can still embrace that country where she came from, those kids who ridiculed her and her coat of many colors, if she can still learn to love it and take it as part of herself, well, then what else can happen? She has changed East Tennessee slowly, over time. I can attest to this from personal witness. Dolly's fans span all spectrums, gay and straight, conservative and liberal, rural and urban. The universality of her appeal feels transgressive right now, in this moment of cultural divisiveness, does it not? Her story holds meaning for so many of us. For every gay person who left their small town to find themselves amongst a more welcoming community in a bigger city, but who still wants to embrace the part of themselves that is their home, family. For every immigrant who traveled across oceans, who traveled across political borders, but still longs for the home they left behind. For everyone who had to leave their cocoon of a rural, small-town life to learn of a self they hadn't yet met. Well, Dolly sings for all of us. In her song, Family, she writes, "Some are preachers, some are gay, some are addicts, drunks, and strays, but not a one is turned away when it's family." And as Unitarian Universalists, we know love makes a family, do we not?
Yes.
We celebrate love in all of its forms, do we not?
Come on.
We do. And we will use our gifts to bring down structures of evil that would regulate, terrorize, and murder that love. Won't we?
Yes.
Even our gifts of song, like Dolly did. And today, later today, we will take to the streets in joyful fabulousness, celebrating authentic glamour, celebrating our transgressive selves, and push our cultural boundaries, all in the name of love that is revolutionary.
Come on.
That demands more of us. Love that is sometimes angry, that is concerned with justice, that is concerned with equality for all of us. Now is not the time to tone it down. Wherever you are from, bring it with you into your becoming. You will need your fiercest, most fabulous self. You will need that part of yourself that makes room for others to become who they need to be, who sees them for who they really are. We have got a fight ahead of us. We are still in 2019 fighting for the right to love and live freely. But before we show up to that fight, we celebrate. We sing. Today, let us sing. Let us sing out loud, proud, fierce, fabulous. Look around you. Look around you. Look at all these beautiful butterflies. This is your family. Amen.
Amen.
May it be so.
Our final hymn this morning is I Know I Can, followed by a little benediction from Dolly Parton. Please rise, in body or in spirit. Got it.
We're almost there. We're gonna get there.
2, 3, 4.
Tumble out of bed, let's jump to the kitchen. Pour myself a cup of ambition. Yawn and stretch and try to come alive. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the streets, the traffic starts jumping. Walls like we don't jump all night.
Everybody.
Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Where we can. So taking and no giving, just use your mind, and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy.
Go in love. Go in peace. Happy Pride.
Go in peace. Happy Pride.
I never listened to the lyrics. I never heard the lyrics, and they're powerful lyrics.